Hello, my name is Brandy Adams. I go to Bluefield State College and I'm earning my bachelor degree. And one of our senior practicum assignments was to do our change project. We had to pick something that we feel passionate about changing in our workplace. So after a lot of thinking on that, I had a few different options, but I decided to do bedside reporting, to initiate a bedside report policy in the ICU. This is something I'm very passionate about, and I feel that it could really help improve patient safety and satisfaction. So my goal for my senior change project was to improve patient outcomes and safety by improving communication between staff and patients. My objective is to provide an in-service on the benefits of bedside reporting and initiate a bedside reporting policy in the ICU at Bar H by April 10th. A handout and flyer will be developed for ICU staff on the benefits of bedside reporting. The nurse manager will continue updating the handout and providing the in-service annually. Okay, so with every project, of course, you have your driving and your restraining forces. So to help you identify the problem. So some of my driving forces was improvement of communication between nurses, improvement of communication between nurses and their patients and patient families, patient safety, of course, that's our number one goal at all times, and patient satisfaction. And this is just up-to-date knowledge because I did do a review of the literature, and what the literature says is that bedside reporting does help increase patient safety, satisfaction, and communication amongst staff. Some of the restraining forces is finding the best time for the in-service. The ICU is very busy, and a lot of times when you first come on shift or go off shift, which is the time I chose to do this, it is busy even at that time. So that was a restraining force. Also, the time to do bedside report. Now the traditional way is we do handoff report at the nurse's desk, which don't take as long as most nurses would think it does to go into the room and do bedside reporting. So that is a restraining force. Nurse resistance to change. Of course, nurses are set in their ways a lot of time and they don't want to change their ways. Also, there was no bedside report policy in place, so the new policy is a complete change. So I didn't really have any ground to stand on. This is kind of a whole new project. Okay, so the description of the environment is Bar H. The intensive care unit is on the third floor. It's in a locked unit and it houses 11 patients. Okay, so this is just a picture of one of the beds in the ICU. Like I said, it's 11 patients. This is their updated rooms. We just had those remodeled, and this is the nurse break room that the in-service was held in. Okay, so to decide if bedside reporting is an issue, if this is an issue in the ICU, I sent out a questionnaire. It was a needs assessment. So one of the questions was, do you participate in bedside report each time you give or receive handoff report? That revealed that only 30% participate in bedside report each time. Do you believe that bedside reporting promotes patient safety? 18 of the 20 said yes, so that's a big chunk of the 20 people. Do you believe that our unit and our patients would benefit from the nurses doing bedside reporting between each shift change? 20 out of 20 says yes. So my results from this needs assessment helped further my decision to do bedside reporting as my senior change project. Okay, so I needed help with this project, of course. Myself, the change agent. I developed a committee. This is Katie, Marcella, Jason, Shane, and Sherry. 3 day shift nurses, 2 night shift nurses. Marcella is also part of management. All 4 have their BSN degree, and Shane is working on his BSN degree, so I felt that I had a very strong committee. Some helpful items that helped me kind of initiate this was, of course, the policy. There is now a policy in place to help guide the nurse through the bedside report process. I had to develop the policy in order to keep, that was the whole goal. So in order to keep this is not just for my change project, this will be for the rest of the time at the ICU. There is a nurse report sheet which helps the nurse gather pertinent information at the nurse's desk before going to the bedside. Part of the policy was that the nurse must give their detailed, full report at the nurse's desk, and then you report to the bedside to do your kind of quick report. So that report sheet is going to help them kind of decide which information to do at the bedside and which information to do at the nurse's desk. Also, a handout provided to the staff that included important information on bedside reporting, and each staff member got a copy of that, and they got to keep that. So some of the guidelines that came with the policy that I made is nurses must provide each patient and their family with the bedside report brochure on admission, which is a brochure that I made, and there's copies in each of the new patients' folders. This brochure explains what bedside reporting entails so that the patient can decide whether they would like to participate in bedside reporting, so they do have the option. The policy states that the nurse must first give a detailed report at a location away from the bedside, then go to the, away from the bedside, then the nurse should go to the bedside to give a focused report with the patient and their family. Of course, upon entering the room, the nurse should let the patient and the family know that bedside reporting is about to take place. The bedside report should be concise and short and only involve the most pertinent information. Nurses are very knowledgeable and intelligent. They can use their own judgment to decide what information they should or should not disclose at the bedside. Also, there will be a copy of the bedside report policy at an easy accessible location. My go live date was April 8th through the 10th. It was an in-service that we reviewed the policy and the handout. Everybody got a copy of it, and kind of just, that was when the whole bedside reporting policy took flight. So what worked well and what didn't work well with the project? There's always your pros and cons. The staff were excited about the new policy and they think it will create a positive change. Staff were very involved during the in-service, very receptive, and also gave a lot of input. Reviewing the policy during the in-service allowed the staff the chance to ask questions or express concerns pertaining to the policy. The staff were immediately began abiding by the bedside report policy. I saw many nurses, or all nurses that attended the in-service doing the bedside report right after. The things that didn't work well, it was difficult to get